Hi there, this is Rob at Reason101.net, and I'm here to showcase a different kind of audio processing system called the EEF. It stands for EQ, Echo, and Filter System, and it's basically those three different types of processes that we're going to talk about today. What this entire system does is it walks you through a stack of EQ filters, as well as a two combinator echo system, and then it applies your sound to the four different types of Thor filters in series. So to start things off, we'll just take a listen to it. What you have here is you have a sound source. Right now we have a Thor and a Maelstrom, but you can put any sounds you want in here, and then that's going to go through a matrix sequencer, which you can load up any kind of sounds you want, randomize those sounds. Okay, if you don't want to play the sounds, you can turn it off and you can play it with your keyboard controller, but for the sake of this tutorial, we'll just let that sequence run. Once you have your sounds in place, you can send it to a panning device, which can pan it left and right. You can also apply some different curves to your pan. These curves are controlled by the wave filter here, the wave system. You can choose between 32 different waveforms, and you can apply your rate to the waveform, high rate, faster waveform, or a lot slower. Okay. What the other two rotaries do is this rotary and this button, rotary 2 and button 2, will apply a panning signal to the sound signal after it goes through the EQ device. The echo, this rotary and this button applies the panning after it hits the echo system, so it applies it to your signal after the echo. So you can kind of create some complex panning schemes using this combinator here. Moving down, after it goes through that, it's going to go into a filter system here, which you can play around with. Got a formant filter, comb filter, state variable filter set to high pass, and a low pass filter. And once you have it set to a specific filter, you can play with the envelope. Invert your envelope. You can play with your frequency. You can play with your resonance. You can play with your drive parameter. You can apply a chorus. You can apply a delay and sync the delay up to your song tempo. All of that can be done on this little filter system here. And you can also bypass it. After the filter system, you're going to get to the EQ system, which is comprised of your main EQ up here. Then it has four different combinators underneath it, the EQA, EQB, EQC, and EQD. All of these devices have the same parameters assigned to them, so I'm just going to go through one of them today, the EQA. So what we'll do is we'll enable the entire system by clicking button 4. You have a main crossover here. Okay, you have the crossover 1 and crossover 2. And these are global parameters for the entire system. You have a mono stereo imager, and you can widen the stereo image. Okay, and that's applied to the whole filter system underneath. Now the EQs in this system, if I could just show it to you, there's two EQs, then you've got a stereo imager that's connected to those two EQs. Each of these devices has the exact same combination inside. So this you can cross between the two EQs using this rotary. You can enable EQ1 or enable EQ2, or have them both enabled, or turn them both off. So it's up to you. You can also sync the rate to your song tempo or let it run free. And you've got these two modulation rotaries here, rotary 2 and 3, which go from a low modulation to a high modulation. Okay, and then you've got your master rate for the two EQs, how fast the EQs are going to fluctuate. And right here I'm using the EQs basically not to cut or boost any frequencies, but rather as an effects device. And it applies some pretty crazy EQing to your signals. So that's essentially how this device works. You also have the ability to modulate using this modulation parameter. And you can also modulate this parameter too. Okay, so you can get some pretty complex stuff going on in this system. So I'll turn that off for now, and then we'll go down and we'll apply the equorium. But before we do that, I'm getting a little sick of this sound, so let's just play a different sound for a little while. Okay, so let's turn on the equorium. And this is a multi-tap echo system. We can increase the dry signal. Can have some different taps to the actual delays. Okay, we can change the crossover, change the low bandwidth, change the high bandwidth. Okay, can sync up the rate or not sync up the rate. Create some complex stuff just using this equorium device. So we'll turn that off. And then finally, what we've got down here are the 4 different filters that are coming from Thor. Once again, we'll just change the... there we go. Okay, so we've got the 4 different Thor filters here. We've got a low-pass filter. You can play with the drive of that filter here. You can enable the filter. Increase the drive, increase the frequency, resonance, change the ladder slope, change the envelope, invert the envelope. Okay, the idea was to place these in series so that you can play with your filters one after the other in series. Okay, so that if you wanted to, you could have the LP going into the state variable, then going to the comb filter, and then going down to the formant filter. And you can create some pretty complex sounds using just this. Okay, difference between this filter and the other filter system that I showed you earlier is that that filter system is all contained in one combinator. This filter system is 4 that are in series, one after the other. So you can apply them all, or you can apply just a couple of them. Okay, or you can apply just one of them. Totally up to you. So I hope that gives you a good idea of what this system does. And if you want to see some more different systems and different tutorials, come visit me at reason101.net. This is all going to be part of my refill, which is going to be coming out on August 1st. So thanks a lot for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed this little experience with my EEF EQ, echo, and filter system. Thank you.